All right, this is the complex polygons mastery check. The main idea here is that when you're trying to find the area of a shape that looks, something like this, not a shape that you recognize, what you need to do is break that shape into shapes that you recognize. So what I could do with this shape here is break it just like this into this square and this rectangle, and then I can find the area of both of those shapes since I know how to find the area of rectangles, and just add those areas together to find the total area of that whole figure. So for number one, I broke it as I did right along here so that I have a square and a rectangle. You also could have broken it differently if you wanted to draw a line right here and you would have had this larger rectangle and then this square over here. You could have done that. You would still get the same answer. But if I broke it up like I did, I have a square right here with a length of 3 and a height of 3. So that means that square has an area of 9 square meters. And then this rectangle down here, now I need to be careful that I'm getting the right base and height here. So I can see that the base is 7 right along here, but don't think that the height is also 7 because this measurement, 7, is telling me from here to here. That is not the height of this bottom rectangle. This bottom rectangle only goes up to here. And I can see that that height is labeled on this right side, which is 4 meters. So this is 7 by 4, that's 28 square meters. So to find the area of this whole shape, I'm just going to add together 28 plus 9, and that is going to give me 37 square meters. All right, for number 2, I'm going to do the same sort of thing. I'm going to take this shape and separate it so that I have 2 rectangles, and now I need to find the area of each one. Okay, so I'm looking at the top rectangle and I see that it's 10 millimeters long, but I don't see the height of that rectangle. I see that the whole height of the figure is 10, but again, that's not the height that we want. 10 goes from here to here. I only want for this top rectangle from here to here. So what I'm actually going to need to do is to figure out what that is based on the other heights given to me in the figure. So if I have 10 from here to here, but look, 5 goes from here to here. So if I take that 10 and I subtract the 5 right there, I'm left with 5 for the height of this top rectangle. So I'm going to take 10 times 5 to get me 50 square millimeters for the top of that rectangle. For the bottom rectangle, I can see that the height is 5, but I need to figure out what the length of the base is. So again, I'm going to have to subtract from lengths that are given to me in this figure in other places. So I can see that this whole thing right here is 10, and from here to here is 7. And so this piece that's left is going to be that 10 minus 7, and so that's going to be 3 millimeters. So the area then of this rectangle is 5 times 3, or 15 millimeters squared. To find the total area of the figure, which was the question, I just add 50 plus 15, and that's going to give me 65 millimeters squared. All right, for number 3, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to divide this into 2 shapes here. This rectangle, don't multiply 9 times 9 because, yes, the base is 9, but the height, 9, goes from here to here, and that's not what we want. We want from here to here. So we're going to have to take that whole 9 and subtract the 2 that's right there, which will give us 7 for the height of this rectangle. So this is 9 times 7, or 63 square feet. In this rectangle, we see the height is 2. I need to find the base. So again, this whole length is 9, because that's given to me right here, 9. If I subtract this part that I don't want, which is 4, as I can see right there, I have 9 minus 4 is 5. So this rectangle area is 2 times 5, which is 10 square feet. So I'm going to add 63 plus 10 to get 73 square feet. All right, in this shape, same idea, but this time I have a triangle and a rectangle. So I can see that the area of my rectangle is 10 times 7, which is 70 centimeters squared. And then over here I have a triangle. I know that this base length is 7. It's labeled right there, 7. I need to know the height of the triangle. And to figure that out, I'm going to look at this measurement that's given to me, 15 centimeters, and I'm going to subtract the part of that that I don't need, which is this part, because I only want the height. I'm going to subtract this part. That length is 10 centimeters. So 15 minus 10 gives me 5 centimeters for the height. So I'm going to take, if I label this A and this B, for my triangle A, I'm going to have the base, which is 7, times the height, which is 5, divided by 2, because that's how you find the area of a triangle. So 7 times 5 is 35, and then divide that by 2. When I do that, I get 17.5 square centimeters. Now remember to add those pieces together. So I get 17.5 plus 70. Remember, the decimal in 70 would be right there if there was one, so I'm going to line that decimal up with the one above it. So I have the 5. The decimal comes straight down in addition. 7 plus 0 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. 87.5 square centimeters for my answer.